Lady Cougars, game one tonight. Parker Hazard alongside Trenton Perry. First time broadcast of the WCTV network. Trenton Perry,
yes,
good
sir.
to see you. Independence alum, Independence basketball player.
Yeah.
As we get seeing the starting lineups going on for both teams. How does it feel being back in the high school gym, and what do we see going on tonight?
Man, Parker, I'm so happy to be with you, man, and it's a lot of nostalgia in this gym. I mean, you know, used to play here, 6, 7 years ago. I'm seeing a lot of the staff that were still there at the school when we were there. I mean, it's a great feeling being here with you. I'm excited to see some good Williamson County basketball.
Yeah, good Williamson County basketball. We are going to have it tonight. Coach Brad Simmons in the hosting Lady Cougars tonight. 0-10 in conference play, 2-15 overall. Looking for that first win of the season in conference play, going up against a tough fourth-seeded Lady Eagles, 6-3 in conference, 12-6 overall, and 4 sophomores starting for this Lady Cougars team, Trenton. So we'll see the grit and determination that Coach Simmons has talked about that this team has continued to have over this long season. Let's see what they can do here hosting the Eagles tonight. I'm
definitely looking forward to seeing how they play. Brad Simmons just talks about how energetic they are, how much they stay positive, and they keep their heads up. So young team, but they're looking to get better every single game, which is the biggest point about high school basketball.
That's exactly right. Learning game it is. Lady Cougars start off with the basketball. Sheridan Foster leading the point for the Lady Cougars, a name to look out for tonight. Going down low, that is Mai Skinner, the junior forward, drawing the foul. Good look getting the ball inside for the Lady Cougars so far to begin the game, Trenton.
Very nice basic, big-time, big woman move down there. Just a nice post-up, good feed. Nice little hook shot to get to the line to get yourself rolling early as she misses the first one.
Yeah, like you said, getting the big player move down low, letting the body work. That is what is going to need to happen for Skinner and the Lady Cougars offense.
An early sub here. Harper Klein coming in.
So as Trenton mentioned, Harper Klein coming in for the Lady Cougars early. As big shot from the elbow. Libby Morrill, junior guard, getting the scoring started tonight. Lady Eagles 2-0 early as Foster brings the ball down. Going down low, Boyer, and the ball is taken away and regrouped by the Eagles. Amy Tang leading the defensive charge there.
That's going to be a big key for the Cougars to limit these kind of turnovers right there. Unforced, just a good drive, but you got to be able to kick that out maybe as a foul was called here on the Cougars.
Looks like Hannah Wright, the lone senior of the Lady Cougars, might have been called there as Jalen Banks is going to be at the line. The freshman guard starting here for the Lady Eagles. Nonetheless, good job by her drawing the contact, going in the lane, and getting a potential point chance here regardless.
Definitely. You mentioned Hannah Wright being the lone senior on the squad. Brad Simmons has just spoke great words about her, that she's just done a great job of being vocal, being just a great senior leader, a role model. And I'm also looking forward to seeing Sherrington Foster as a sophomore, but also the quiet leader that Brad Simmons alluded to in his pregame interview.
Absolutely. Jalen Banks going, hitting 1 out of 2, and turnover there at the front court. Nola Wiggins able to come up with the ball and getting a quick 2-pointer. 5-0 Lady Eagles here early, minutes out of the first quarter. And as you were mentioning Sheridan Foster and Hannah Wright being that more vocal leader, despite the record, kind of keeping the glue together, keeping the team and everyone bought in, and that is what Brad Simmons, the head coach, and Del Wright and everybody with that coaching staff of the Lady Cougars have really been impressed and appreciated.
At this point in the season, Parker, I mean, you kind of know where you're going to stand in these standings. I mean, Centennial's down there in the standings, but they want to be better. They want to get better as a team. Hannah Wright's done a great job of keeping all their heads up right here. I mean, they're down 5-0, but all because
it's the hunger that matters.
It is.
Absolutely. You're exactly right. As Klein in the front court for the Lady Cougars finds the Foster. Hard drive to the right.
Nice.
Nice little pull-up, unable to connect. Amy Tang bringing the ball up for the Lady Eagles. Not a bad look by Foster.
Not at all. Good little pull-up game. Ooh.
Got to keep the shots firing if you want to get
Great
points on the board, if you will. Wow, great job. Offensive rebound. Kayla Miller getting her own miss. Following the shot off the backboard. Nice little kiss. 7-0 Lady Eagles.
I think that's a big key for both teams, Parker, just getting inside, attacking the rim.
Yeah, absolutely. As the Lady Cougars corral the ball. Down low, Skinner kicks it back out to Klein, unable to hit. And good hustle. Klein able to get her own rebound. Resets possession for the Lady Cougars. Hannah Wright drives. Left baseline, unable to connect on there. Just rolling off the rim. Unfortunate. Lady Eagles answering. Deep shot from the point. Banks. Foster with the rebound. And maybe see if the Lady Cougars decide to slow it up a little bit, TP. Maybe try to get the points on the board. Hannah Wright taking the words right out of my mouth. Says, no, sir, Parker, I don't think so. I'm going to go ahead and pull up from here. 7-3. First points for the Lady Cougars. Great job. Great shot, Hannah Wright.
Hey, I'm a senior. I'm going to get us going with a nice little 3-ball to turn up this energy in our home gym.
That's right. And Kayla Miller from the elbow answering. Nothing but net. Let's see if the scoring stays contagious. Foster pulling up deep. Unable to connect, but I think if you're the coaching staff on the Lady Cougars, Trenton, keep shooting those balls.
Absolutely. Get them up, man. This is your home gym. You're comfortable in here. I would like to see the Cougars, begin to move it inside now to get some of those threes. I mean, those kind of threes we can see all day. I agree with you that they definitely need to get them up and fire them up, especially in the circumstance that they're in. So just to get them some more confidence going into this game. But a strong performance so far from both teams.
Yeah,
a lot
absolutely.
of confidence on the floor.
Yeah, for sure. And you got to love to see the hard play as going up for the shot was Tang unable to hit. And for the Lady Cougars, Juliana Garrison and Taisha Hodge into the game, checking in. Quick turnover as the Lady Eagles push up the court. Nola Wiggins at the point, driving and kicks. Here goes Banks, another chance from deep and hits.
That's it right there, Parker. You see the drive to get Banks wide open for an easy, rudimentary step-in tray ball. She works on that in the gym. That's the team play that both teams need to work on tonight and able to get these wins. If the Cougars want to get a win, they need to be able to move the ball around just like that, penetrate the lane, have everybody come in deep in the paint, kick out for your shooters. That's great basketball right there.
Yeah, like you mentioned, the isolation play. Nola Wiggins taking that to the right side and freeing up Banks there from deep. All-around team effort, as you said, for sure. A lot of basketball knowledge. Trenton Perry's dropping us right now. What was that, 2013, 2012 Independence grad?
13.
13,
That's
okay.
right.
So I was 11. I was 2 years. Yeah, 2013 grad, alma mater, just as myself of Independence High School. 3 years at Eastern Michigan. Finished it off 2 years at Cumberland High School.
Yeah.
Now doing a little bit of training and coaching yourself. That's awesome, man. It's an honor to have you here, and I'm just excited to get you going with this side of it, man.
Hey, I appreciate you having me on. It comes full circle. We were classmates, and it's great to be here with you. I'm the limited basketball knowledge I do have, with just seeing so many levels of the game. I'm hoping to share with you guys and just see how this game is played here and at Centennial.
Well, man, I know Lance and Creed and the guys up top really appreciate you being here. As
nice.
Out of the break, great inside move there by Maya Skinner, unable to connect. I think at this point she is that physical presence down low, and they're going to look to her to keep shooting, not to get discouraged by those misses.
I think Coach is perfectly fine with that layup as Eagles respond with an easy layup as their own.
Christy Martinez getting the feed down low, and the Eagles off to an 11-point lead. 3.5 minutes left to go here in this first quarter. Foster going up and under, unable to connect. And Wiggins quickly down floor. Down low to Tang. Tang loses it, and good forced turnover there by the Lady Cougars, as leading that charge on defense, Juliana Garrison, the freshman, in off the bench for the Lady Cougars.
And again, the Cougars are getting good looks right now. That's a layup she just has to finish. If they finish a few more of those layups that the Eagles are finishing right now, it's a closer ball game. But they just cannot get their heads down. They got to stay in it and got to stay the course.
Yeah, and you got to think a little bit of that has to do with youth,
right?
And
no question.
And Coach Simmons knows that, and just the fact that the team stays bought in. That's what you don't see very much anymore, especially at this level, the high school level. You can get down a lot, but this team, and with the lack of leadership, senior leadership, how they're able to stay together and stay bought in, that just says that stands alone with itself right there.
And that's what Coach Brad Simmons is talking about, is another unforced turnover here for the Cougars. But there's a lot to be excited about with this team. I mean, they're young, they have great camaraderie, great chemistry. They love being in the gym with each other. So it's huge, especially in the high school level. It's very important to have some of that, because at the end of the day, whether it's high school basketball, college basketball, the camaraderie that you get from it is going to stay with you forever, and it makes you want to work that much harder to really grind it out for your sisters on the floor.
Absolutely, and hard play defensively down low as the pass was going towards Banks, and Hannah Wright
right there with it,
staying with the ball. Tough play defensively by Hannah Wright, and to me right there, that's what you like to see if you're a coaching staff.
Love it.
All over the floor, as going inside quickly to Kayla Miller, and gonna be a foul on the shot. Let's see who they call it on.
Well, those are the plays we love to see, just like you said, Parker, especially from, guess who, the lone senior, the leader on the floor, Hannah Wright. Those are the plays that get your teammates going. They get your teammates saying, okay, Hannah's diving on the floor. She's scrapping for loose balls. Even when we're down 12 right now, 15-3, she's still fighting. She wants to fight. This is our home court. We still have a chance to get back in this thing. It's a long game.
That's exactly right. As Kayla Miller goes in for her second free throw, that is 2 for 2.
Nice looking shot on her.
Yeah, absolutely, and then the senior center, the lone senior starter, senior starting five, have you making her presence known down low as Sheridan Foster, with 2.5 minutes left to go in the first quarter, trying to get the Lady Cougars back in the scoring column. Setting up from deep was Taisha Hodge. Offensive rebound, and it was lost by Skinner. Lady Eagles pushing up the floor. Banks,
nice,
taking it herself, unable to connect. Lady Cougars looking to push. Hodge.
There you go.
Nice little Euro step. Skinner there for the pickup and one. Way to be there, Maya Skinner, for the offensive rebound and picking up the foul for the old-fashioned three-point play.
I love it. You got to attack the rim there. Tasha Hodge does a great job of just pushing the break off of missed layups, and you see it all over the place. Middle school, high school, college, it doesn't matter. Missed layups always lead to easy opportunities on the other end.
Absolutely.
Falls.
And with that free throw, Skinner letting us know the bank is open, and that brings the Lady Eagles lead down to 10, 16-6. 1:59 left to go here in the opening quarter. Centennial High School, game one of our doubleheader, WCTV Game of the Week. We are live. Banks kicks it out. Tang drives, little floater off the glass, unable to hit. Let's see who it's off on. Trenton, I don't know.
Tough one there. It's, these refs, they have their hands full, man. It's a tough job to do. Sometimes you just got to go with the best call that you see.
Wish we had that one extra camera to be able to look at that replay.
Help them out a little bit.
Nonetheless, Lady Eagles regain possession. Banks, one-on-one, kicks it to Libby Morrill, and she misses, and trying to save the ball was Harper Klein, and possession looks like she was able to. Okay, there we go. A little bit of little conference there by our officiating crew there, so it will stay with the Lady Eagles. Banks down low. Nice little pass to Caleb Miller, unable to connect. Wiggins trying to save it. Miller going back up, just tenacious down low. As Maya Skinner was able to come up with the defensive rebound after the third shot by Miller. And Miller will be charged for the foul down low.
Well, this is a great matchup we're seeing here. Parker from Skinner and Miller, as she picks up another foul and is benched here. But they're going at it, just down low, bruising. Just old-fashioned basketball. You love to see it.
Definitely no loss of or no lack of effort from either side so far tonight.
No question.
As Skinner kicks to right back down low.
Nice.
Klein from the corner, from the wing, in and out. And ball's going to go off of Skinner. Possession going towards the Lady Eagles. That's not a bad offensive possession for Centennial right there. Great ball movement.
If I'm Coach Simmons, that's what we want to do all night long. Just get it inside, see what you got. If there's no double, we're kicking it out for our shooters.
Jalen Banks going coast to coast. And not a bad play there by Banks, going right after Skinner. The big body down low, trying to get her into foul trouble. And I want to say that is either her second or third tonight. I have not done a good job keeping up that stat. But good job by Banks.
Well, we'll see here in a moment if she gets subbed out. But Banks, you can tell she's in attack mode, doing a great job as she makes the first free throw. And right on cue, here comes Skinner just on the bench and the sub for Juliana Garrison. But Banks, man, she's getting downhill. And if she doesn't have that layup, she's doing a great job of dumping it off as well.
Yeah, eyes up her eyes are up for sure as the freshman guard hits 2 of 2 from the line. Not playing very much like a freshman so far tonight as the Eagles showing a little bit of a pressure look here on defense. Garrison able to get it past the timeline. Foster kicking it to right, a little long, making a pass to Klein. Hodge from 3. Unable to connect.
Those are the tough shots right there. Those are tough shots right there, Park. I think we'd rather have that last shot, especially going down 12 in the first quarter.
Well, you got to think, like you said, the deficit itself, but open shots taken.
Yeah.
You
still got to be aggressive.
You can't take them home with you. As Banks will hold up the ball as we reach 6 seconds left to go here in the opening quarter. Looking for the pick from Martinez. Banks pulls up. And with that shot, open look, unable to connect. Lady Eagles lead after the first quarter, 18-6 here at Centennial High School. And right now, I think, what do you think the Centennial Lady Cougars sideline right now, Trenton? What do they have to come out onto the court in the second quarter mentally? What do they have to do?
Right now, Coach Simmons is probably telling his girls to slow it down, be patient. We're only down 12. We still have 3 more quarters to go. We're getting good looks. They're getting a lot of good shots off. Just need to knock them down, and that will happen through the course of the game when you start getting yourself feeling good and you start making yourself feel good once you get those easy looks, once you feed it in down low, and then they double and you kick it out for those wide-open threes. Yeah, that one went in and out. Those will start to fall in the course of the game. So right now I'm impressed with both teams. They're moving the ball very well. I think the Eagles are doing a better job of attacking and looking to dump it off to their big to get easy layups. The biggest difference is the Eagles are hitting their layups, and the Cougars are just falling short on a couple of theirs.
Yeah, and piggybacking off of that, I think the physical aspect of the game is leaning more towards the Eagles' side.
Right.
And that in the first quarter did show its muscles a little bit. But just like you and I and everybody else at home knows, basketball's a game of runs.
It is.
And right now, barring a defensive stop by the Lady Cougars, now the Lady Cougars are going to be starting possession. So
they want to punch first.
Let's see what they can do.
They got to show that we're fine. We're going to be the aggressors right here. We're going to win this second quarter.
So down 12, starting the second quarter. Foster kicks to Klein. Not a bad shot. Open look. Unable to connect.
Take those all night.
Exactly. Quick shot. And Lady Eagles take possession. Martinez fighting hard down low, unable to connect. And quick start to the second quarter. Both teams coming up empty on their first possession. Foster coming up empty from 3, and Tang quickly getting across the timeline. Kicks to Morrow. Morrow finding Banks. Banks seemed to be a magnet in the first half so far of the basketball. Tang down low to Martinez. Good look.
And how many times have we seen that already, Parker? I think Coach Glazner over at Independence has made it a conscious effort in the scouting report. Hey, we are going to attack the Lady Cougars, and if you don't have to layup, dump it off. We'll get layups just off that.
Definitely take advantage of the help defense or lack thereof of the Lady Cougars by driving the lane. Banks quickly after the miss goes down to Tang. Nice move by Tang. And down low, the foul is going to be called. I believe that was on Juliana Garrison. Good foul by the freshman. Going to force the junior Tang to get the 2 points the hard way.
Nice little jab step right there. Parker to free up a layup, and she misses the first one. So just like you said, hey, we're happy with that foul. Earn them at the line.
I think, needless to say, I think that mention of that first jab step there, that was a good look there by Tang, able to make the defender miss, and missing the back end of the free throws. Gonna have a little conference here by the officiating crew to see who will obtain possession.
Looks like it was off by the Cougars. They got to come up with that rebound right there, especially when you're down 14 in the second quarter.
Absolutely, free throw nonetheless. Banks driving hard, comes up empty, gets her own rebound, and drawing the foul. I believe is that Garrison again?
Sure. Well, it looks like it's Tasha Hodge.
Is it Hodge? Okay, they both were close.
I think that's a very tough call.
Yep.
Before a ref, whenever you see that hand go down, every single time, and this is why I even tell my players, on defense, even if you get all ball and they still call it, it's because that hand goes down as Banks misses the first one. So not a bad foul for her in the light of things, but if she goes straight up right there, then turns around, boxes out, the ball's going to fall right in your hands.
As Banks hits the second of the free throws. Libya Morrow coming out of the game for the Eagles as a three-pointer.
There it goes. Harper Klein, she's had a few looks tonight. Now it's starting to get going.
Harper Klein getting this 3-point scoring in for the Lady Cougars as a little bit of a hand check. Ticky foul there on Hannah Wright. 21-9 our score here, second quarter. 6:18 left to go.
Right now, the Cougars, I think, have gotten a lot of three-point shots off. You alluded to earlier in the game, Parker. If you're open, shoot the ball. Now they're starting to get comfortable with it as Harper Klein knocks down. I believe that was her first one of about 3 or 4. So all open looks. That you're not going to miss a ton of open looks every single time.
And with that, it's quite apparent that the look on offense for Centennial is going to be looking down low, especially to Skinner when she's in the game out of foul trouble. So the Lady Eagles are blocking off that center and just going to give up the three-point shots. Like you said, hey, if they're going to let us do it, let us do it. We'll get hot.
Oh, yeah. There she goes again.
Klein. Ooh. And it just seems the ball is getting closer to falling each time it leaves her hands. As new into the game, Ryan Prokop dishes to Banks. And it looks like we're going to get a charge foul called on Banks. Steamrolling Foster into the paint. And so good charge take there by Foster.
I love charge calls. Charge calls, man, they get your teammates going. I mean, you saw the bench over there. They're jumping up. They're getting hyped. That fuels your team not only to play well on offense, but, hey, let's get gritty on defense as well.
Michaela Cox in for the Lady Cougars, as well as Davis, A.K. Anna Catherine for the Lady Eagles. As we approach 5.5 minutes left to go here in our first half, 22-9, Independence over Centennial. Jab step, Haley Wright pulls up, long once again. Banks quickly up the floor. And gonna be a blocking foul on Foster, as looked like Banks kind of lowered her shoulder there a little bit.
Yeah.
Gonna have a called towards the Lady Eagles there for sure. And at that point, with 9 fouls for the Centennial Lady Cougars, that will send Independence to the line in the bonus for 1-1.
That's tough on the Cougars, especially how the Eagles are attacking right now. Banks, I think this is about her 4th, 5th time at the line. Another tough call for the refs to make. I mean, I think that was an easy block call, really, though. Sheraton Foster just moving her feet a little bit. If she would have just set that down, it would have been a good charge for her.
Absolutely, you're exactly right, and that is going to be something to look forward to look into learning in the future for those types of plays. As good drive by Wright, unable to come in. Long shot there by Ryan Prokop, followed in.
That was a pass right there, Parker. Pass or shot? We'll call it an assist.
You know what? I was just trying to follow the ball in the play. I just kind of got tongue-tied there, but great pickup there by Martinez, able to pick up the long shot. And with that timeout, our score, 4:58 left to go in the second quarter. Independence over Centennial, 26-9. And, Independence, Trenton, coming off of a pretty tough loss. They had a bye week, or a bye game on Tuesday, coming off a tough loss, 75-40 against Page last week. Yeah. Page, no slouch, second in the conference right now at 9-1, 18-1 overall. Yeah. And how does a coach get their team back together, back their heads underneath them, their feet underneath them after a loss like that?
Man, just staying the course, getting back in the gym, getting back to the drawing board. That game's behind us. We have to focus on the next game. The most important game in any season is the next game. So I think as a veteran coach, Brian Glazner, he knows what to do. I know he's the right man to steer the ship in the right direction. You know, Page is a very talented team. I'm sure he's telling his girls that, hey, we're going to see them again. We're going to see them in the district tournament, and that's when we'll kind of make our comeback. I know it was at Page. Girls started getting it rolling a little bit early, which is always tough to dig yourself out of a hole. So it gets to a point we're in the game. Hey, we're down about 20-30, so let's just work on us, and then after the game we'll get back to the drawing board and make sure we get a win next game.
And with that, after that type of loss and coming up against a building Centennial team, Independence has not come out really flat at all. They've come out firing on all cylinders, 26 quick points here in the first half, and a gritty, dangerous Centennial team that can get on a roll and get a run going. And I think in the last 4.5 minutes of this first half, that's exactly what they're going to look to do. With Foster missing that open shot, unfortunately. Yeah, but a good look nonetheless.
They're getting all open shots, Parker. I mean, and these are just like you said. You know, you never really know. You got to stay the course. It's a hard charging call.
It's down low. Anna Catherine's gonna get called for the charge. Hannah Wright staying tough down low, taking it. Shaking up a little bit on the play, but she is under her own power, going back down to the offensive side for the Lady Cougars. And that's the type of turnover you're looking for.
Mm-hmm. That's what Coach Simmons says that Hannah Wright is for this team. She's the lone senior. She's a leader. She's a captain. As the open three goes up and just a little bit short.
Kayla Cox into the game, freshman, another freshman for the Lady Cougars. Coming up short, like Trenton said. Banks kicks it out to Anna Catherine and unable to hit. Foster rushing up court quick. And Banks is going to get called for the blocking foul.
A nice push here by Sheraton Foster. That's what the Lady Cougars have to do is, you know, we're getting open threes right now, but they're not falling. You know, they're good shots, and obviously, just like you said early in the game, Parky, we got to keep taking them. But at the same token, it's looking like we can get these open shots whenever we want. There's no shot clock, and we need to start moving around. We need to start attacking them, and because that starts to wear on teams, especially later in the game. If you're just attacking them over and over and over again, then later in the game, it's okay. Shoot, my legs, though I don't feel tired because of the adrenaline, my body is still just dragging just a little bit. So basketball's a chess game, Parker. You know, you got to attack early, and then hey, these shots, I wouldn't be surprised if they start falling a little later.
You know, and going off that point, you know, Centennial's finally getting into the type of game that they're going to have to play due to the defense that Independence is showing them.
Yeah.
And we're just now to 17 fouls for Independence. That's putting Centennial to the line. We're seeing them play a little bit more aggressively here in the past 2 minutes of this second quarter, mainly the second quarter entirely. And by that play there by Foster, going down, drawing the foul, getting into the bonus, getting those points from the line. That's what you'd like to see. That's what you want to see going in the latter half of this first half. And hopefully some type of run here and trying to catch Independence flat.
No question.
So Wiggins inbounding the ball for the Lady Eagles. Tang kicks it up to Prokop. Tang down to AK, overshoots Davis, Kayla Miller overshot on the play, and here come the Lady Cougars. 3.5 minutes left to go in the first half. Hodge from deep. Give her space, she will shoot.
Hey, there's no lack of confidence on this court right here, Parker. I like it.
So after that huge three-pointer by Taisha Hodge, that brings the score down to 12, 26-14, 3 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in the first half. Hard drive, and coming up just short, Davis, AK, Anna Catherine. Hard drive, drawing the foul, trying to get him the hard way here for the Lady Cougars. And let's just take a look at this nice little work here by Hodge.
Well, hey, she dribbles up the court. Hey, you're not going to come up and put a hand up, hand down, man down, or woman down here in this case. Hey, I love the shot, and just like you said early in the game, hey, you got to have the confidence. She's already taken a few. They've been off the mark, but right here, hey, I'm right into it. My feet are set. I'm leaving up my fall through. Great shot.
And like you said, eventually if they're gonna keep giving you the shots, they're gonna eventually keep falling.
That's right.
And the misses keep getting closer. The makes are starting to get more frequent.
Yep.
So as long as the Cougars continue to do that, we could see an interesting second half. But with Anna Catherine hitting 2 for 2 from the free throw line, the Lady Eagles are going to need to continue that stretch from the charity stripe. Hodge bringing the ball down court, kicks to Klein. Klein looking inside to Catherine Legion, and Legion's going to be fouled there down low by, looks to be Kayla Miller there.
Probably her third there. And here comes the sub.
I'm pretty sure that it has to be 3 if she's coming out with 3 minutes left.
I know she came out earlier with 2. And then she picks up that late one. I know Coach Glazner, you don't want your star players or your big on the floor to be on the bench for too long to get cold. So you want to just kind of bring them back into the game as the first free throw goes down for the Lady Cougars. You don't want them to get cold over there on the bench. So just bring them back in for a little bit. I'm sure he's bummed about that foul call, though.
And depending on how the back stretch of this game goes, rotation will be key. As an unfortunate bounce off the rim, Legion there, 1 of 1 from the 2 free throws. 28-15, 2 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in the first half. As the Lady Cougars and Harper Klein come up with the defensive rebound, look to push, kind of claw into this lead that the Lady Eagles have. Taisha Hodge from deep NBA range. We see you, 21.
She's starting to feel it, Parker. And here comes the turnover.
Quick turnover there. Juliana Garrison able to come up with it, drawing the foul on, I believe that's number 12, Libby Morrill. We have a 10-point game trend.
Hey, Taisha Hodge, she's just putting it in her own will to say, hey, we're still at home. We still have a lot of game left, and we're only down 10 now. I mean, just look at that again. Hand down,
just quick,
woman down.
Quick release.
And I know Coach Glazer's over there telling his girls, hey, don't let them get comfortable because this is what we talked about. They're getting a lot of shots up, and the more you get them up, the more they're likely to fall. And Taisha Hodge, she's feeling good now. And with momentum building as a foul's called, I believe we're going to get some one-on-one free throws, or I believe they're in the double bonus now.
Yeah, it's going to be foul number 10 on Centennial. Double bonus time for the Lady Eagles there on the rebound. Martinez was fouled. And with Garrison missing that front end of the 1-and-1, that, these runs that happened in basketball that Centennial is very capable of making, which we've seen in the past 2.5 minutes of basketball.
Yeah.
Those foul shots, especially
Man,
when you have this much time left in a quarter, 2.5 minutes, and you're already at the opposing team's at 9 fouls, got to come up big on those, capitalize on those foul shots.
Free throws are so huge, Parker. You are absolutely right. I believe the ref's going to catch Hodge stepping over the line a little early.
Oh, is that what that was there?
Yep, I believe so.
Little lane violation there on Taisha Hodge.
And that's tough. But those, looking back to the free throw count, that's always what the coaches look at. Like one of the first things when you look at the box score at the end of the game, like, hey, we lost by 3. How many free throws did we miss?
Right.
As another missed free throw here. So Cougars, another chance to cut into this lead.
Nice rebound there off the foul shot by Katie Rock. Into the game for Harper Klein. Closing in on 2 minutes. Hannah Wright going in tough. Little floater off the elbow there, unable to connect. As we approach the 2-minute mark. Big three by Tang, unable to hit. And impressive offensive rebound by Sheridan Foster. Quickly up the court, finds Hodge. Hodge draws a double team. Step back, unable to connect, but a pretty little look there by Hodge.
Ooh, looking to the late Kobe Bryant, I think paying homage over there. That looked good right there, Parker. Hey, that's a heat check right there. She's already knocked down 2 shots. I'm okay with that shot right there.
Independent showing a little bit of pressure there on Hodge in the corner as their offensive possession comes up short. Banks missing the 3. Hannah Wright with the rebound. And Lady Cougars pushing it up court, down 10, approaching 1 minute left in the first half. Garrison off her pivot foot, unable to connect. Didn't find an open receiver there, if you will, on the pass, and decided to do it herself.
Not a horrible look there, Parker, but these are the times where, hey, you're on a run. It's a minute left in the half. Let's slow things down. Let's move it around a little bit, and we can – ooh, that's a great move.
Got to stay strong on defense after those runs, though.
My goodness. Tang.
Nice little pump fake there. Amy Tang finishing for the Lady Eagles. 45 seconds left in the first half. Foster pinballing through 3 Eagle defenders. Decides to go right and unable to hit. Impressive individual effort there by Foster as Wiggins on the other end unable to connect. Prokop with the offensive rebound. Good hustle there by Garrison to draw the jump ball. Possession arrow will stay with the Lady Eagles.
Those are the plays we want to see each possession, Parker. The Lady Cougars just hustling on both ends, defensively and offensively, but especially, the thing is, Brad Simmons, he's not even worried about offense right now. He made it known that he wants a Sheraton Foster attacks hard in the middle, almost gets that and 1 call. She's going to the line, but picking up what I was saying, Brad Simmons, he's said in the pregame a big key for them to get a win tonight is to focus on defense. And Brad Simmons, yes, sir, is my mistake on that last name, but he said that a big key for them to get this win at home is to make sure that their defensive effort is nice as Sheraton Foster knocks down the first one and cuts down this lead.
So after the turnover on the baseline inbounds, Sheridan Foster going up for her second free throw after the foul and hits. We are back to 10 points with 15 seconds left. Garrison and Garrison and Katie Rock both almost with the turnover. Eagles frantically looking for an open shot. Finds it to Banks. Banks from 3. Misses. Huge rebound by Hannah Wright to stop the ball, to stop the chances there. The last chance effort by the Lady Eagles. Good defense. Yeah. And Trenton, good basketball all around here in the first half.
Absolutely. I think if I'm Coach Brad Simmons, I'm going to go in. I'm proud of my ladies right now. It could have any other team really could be getting down, but the Cougars, they're fighting, and you could tell, just like Brad Simmons said, hey, we got a team that they're young, but they fight hard. We're only down 10 going into the second half.
Now, there we have it, 20-30 is our 10-point half score here in the first half at Centennial High School. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back here to Centennial High School, second half action of our girls game. And with a late run at the end of the first half, the Lady Cougars have cut the Eagles' lead down to 10, 30-20, starting the second half, and the Lady Cougars have the ball.
Hey.
Starting quickly down low. Skinner unable to hit. Foster coming up empty, but Hodge trying to keep the hot streak from deep out of the locker room, unable to hit. Here come the Eagles. And Trenton, what did we see as Banks there with, and if we're going to talk Independence, Banks would be the name to talk about, but what did we see from both sides of the ball there in the first half?
So far, Eagles just in attack mode. Banks, she's leading right now at 10, and she missed that layup, but she's been doing that all game. Cougars getting up a lot of tray balls. Hodge right here, who has the ball, she got up 2 big ones to really cut the lead and give the Lady Cougars just this 10-point deficit. As another jumper goes up and out, but and a follow-up layup. Ooh, those are tough to miss, but hey, Lady Cougars, man, they're fighting, and that's what Coach Brad Simmons alluded to in his interviews before the game, that these girls, they're not going to give up. They're going to keep fighting, and I think Coach Glazer knows that.
And that's all they can do. It's a team that's capable of going on runs, and they showed us that there at the end of the first half as Maya Boyer, the sophomore Lady Cougar, there with the foul down low. And so far, empty possessions for both teams starting off the second half. Tang bringing it up court, gets Wiggins. Wiggins, nice little bounce pass to Martinez. Martinez drawing the foul from Skinner, and Skinner a little emotional after the foul, is going to get teed up, and that is an unfortunate event there for the Lady Cougars, as that's going to be a quick change there for the Lady Cougar sidelines. That's
tough right there. I mean, hey, you're down 10, you're in your home gym, you're emotional, okay? It's a passionate ball game. It's a tough one for the ref to call. I don't, those are out of our hands.
And we're right.
We can't
even
speak
with
too much on that.
Even with that, I believe that's number 4 there for Skinner.
Yikes, yeah.
So that's going to be the majority of this second half there, sitting next to Coach.
Which is big.
Martinez hitting the first of her 2 technical shots. And Skinner will be replaced on the floor by Harper Klein.
So she's gotten a few tray balls up as well. I think she's starting to get a little more comfortable in this ball game.
2 for 2 from the line for Martinez.
Good looking jumper there at the line.
Hodge, Foster, Klein, Boyer, and Wright out on the floor for the Lady Cougars as we get
foul shots.
5 shots?
I think these are the foul shots because Skinner was called on a foul, a shooting foul. So they get both of them. So they shot the technical fouls, and here are the shots that Banks would have taken amid the technical.
Okay, so why aren't we around the key here for the?
They're going to get the ball back because of the technical. So
so they went ahead and did the foul shot,
Yep.
the free throws for. I see.
Yep.
Okay.
They did a tech. Here's the foul shots, and Banks knocks it down to make it 12 on the game.
That's why you're here, man. That's why you got to keep me afloat, brother.
I got you, brother.
So after the 4 free throws made there by Banks, 34-20, 14-point lead. The Lady Eagles regain possession. Tang from Banks, nice drive off the glass, too hard. Off of Hodge into Foster's hands, going quickly down the floor. Euro step. And in, pretty play there by Sheridan Foster.
Well, these are the plays that get us going, Parker, and I'm sure she's going to get her teammates going as well. That's a layup that's going to start her feeling good. Maybe a tray ball next. That's when it's going to start falling.
Good answer to the aftermath of that technical foul as the Lady Eagles come up short and empty. Opportunity here for the Lady Cougars to answer as Taisha Hodge. NBA 3-point range, 3 out of 5 by Miss Hodge. And we have a timeout on the floor.
Oh, a technical foul?
And looks like it's going to be a technical foul on Hodge.
You know what,
after
Parker,
the 3 ball.
There, no tech is going to deflate this gym right now, though. Hodge is taking it within her. She's showing me something tonight, Parker. I'm telling you, the exact same 3 things threes, as a missed layup. I had a feeling it was going to be like that because the momentum is shifting in this gym right now. They're getting it going. Hodges' family is in here. They're turning up with her, and their teammates are saying, you know what, Taisha, you got a tech, but that's okay. We're going to keep this momentum going for you. We're still only down 10 points. We've got a second half.
A little bit of a young action there, a little bit of a youth play there by Hodge as she takes the bench and has a little bit of a conversation there with Coach Simmons.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, we are back at a 10-point lead for the Lady Eagles as Centennial trying to contain the fast-paced, aggressive offense that the Lady Eagles have possessed tonight. Down low to Miller. Miller off the glass, unable to hit. Strong offensive rebound by Banks as she gets her own rebound after that and fouled by Wright. And here, just over 3 minutes gone in this third quarter. Trenton, and we've had a lot of free throws.
Yeah,
especially on this end, it feels like.
Hey, the Lady Cougars, they're getting a little frustrated now with the referees, which, you really can't let happen, man. You got to control what you can control.
It's all about that personal emotion, too.
Yeah, it is.
It kind of bites you in the rear.
And they feel it. They feel that they're in this game as Banks hits the first one. So, everything's going to be, just like you said, a little more emotional, a little more passionate. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit more of that later into this game.
Well, with the way the free throw percentages are looking for the Lady Eagles, and especially by number 23 freshman Banks there, Jalen Banks.
She's playing hard.
You're not going to want to give those easy free points there because she is cashing in there from the line. So
we don't have the stats right in front of us, Parker, but I'd say to guess that she's been to the line at least 8 times. I mean, she's feeling really good. She's getting to the rim. We said out the gate she just is pushing hard, and she's continuing to attack the rim. I'm sure Coach Glazner is very excited to have her as a freshman starting getting so much experience on this team.
Absolutely.
And I'd also like to point out, Parker, as we are in timeout, the student section is filling up, and they made plans to give tribute to the late and great Kobe Bryant, as well as his daughter Gigi, as well as the others that were affected in this tragedy. I mean, there's a lot of Kobe Bryant jerseys in the stands. I know
That's
Independence coming on the road. They're going to be doing the same thing. So I had to point that out. It's just a great thing for both schools to do.
Yeah, it's kind of cool how the senior leadership groups of both student sections got together via Twitter, via text messages, however it may be. As Sheridan Foster, untouched, going in. Nice, pretty layup off the glass, getting our lead back to 10. A little bit of full court press, man-to-man coverage there by Foster. Banks avoids it. And as we reset, Banks has the ball back up top. And as we were mentioning that, after this shot, nice look by Jalen Banks.
Well, those free throws, I mean, she was right there just working on her follow-through. Now, those threes are going to start falling.
And I want to say that is between 19 to 21 points after those 4 free throws and that three-pointer for Banks. As here she comes after the miss, long rebound. Goes up against Foster, and they're gonna count the basket on the block. Banks drawing the foul on Foster.
I like her game. She is just aggressive, Parker, and she's finishing her layup. She's finishing through contact. Looks like we're going under the rim. I thought he counted those. I thought he counted.
I did
that
too.
bucket.
It kind of looked like he kind of gave the.
He's on the floor. He was saying on the floor. Okay.
All right. But like you said, her game's great. Eyes are up.
Yeah.
She has a high motor, zero fear, and
nice.
Coach Glazer gets that for 3 more years.
Yeah.
As errant pass, Miller unable to obtain the ball, and the Lady Cougars will get possession. 40-27, 4 minutes and 40 seconds left to go here in our third quarter. As the student sections on both sides start to fill up in anticipation of our boys game, mentioning what Trenton said, both of those student sections getting together and both wearing purple and yellow in honor of probably a name that gives a big reason why all of us are here right now, and we love the game of basketball, Kobe Bryant.
My goodness, and as well, I mean, we're watching lady basketball here, Gigi Bryant as well. Have to mention her name. Just double tragic to hear that news, and she had so much to give to this game. Great to see her and Kobe at ball games all the time, and I was really excited to see her future. But I know that they're shining on us, and they're shining on everybody here, and I think Independence and Centennial see that.
That's right, and the players and folks in the community of this county can play and live through them.
Yes.
And that's exactly what these two student bodies are doing, and I think that's great.
Nice.
Nice look inside to Miller by Libby Morrill. And
Coach Glazner right on the possession before. They threw that over her head for out of bounds. That's a tough pass to make. I saw Coach Glazner down there say, hey, throw it to the corner first. Give yourself a better angle. Then we can get it down low to her. And they executed on the other end.
And that's a good way of looking at it, talking about angles, as Foster coming up short with the floater. And the Eagles coming down the floor quick, looking to gain on their 15-point lead, 42-27. 3.5 minutes left to go in this third quarter. And a number to throw out there, as from the corner, unable to hit, was Morrill. Offensive rebound down low by Miller. And Klein's going to bring the ball back up for the Lady Cougars. A stat to point out there, 17 fouls for the Lady Cougars up against 0 for the Independence Lady Eagles, as they just picked up their first foul there on the Hannah Wright shot.
Mm-hmm. Those are the fouls that Coach Glazner, he's not happy about there. You never want to foul a shooter, and that jump shot looked a little short, despite the foul. So, but just, it's intensity on defense. Sometimes you can't really help it. They know, they've been coached as the first one goes in for Hannah Wright. It's easier said than done, I'll say, Parker. I've fouled a couple shooters in my day just by sprinting on the defensive end and just wanting to get a stop so bad that, hey, your body weight's just carrying right into the shooter. It's
that type of play that we see from this Lady Cougars sidelines that's going to only get better in the future. Big offensive rebound off the free throws there by Boyer. And a little contact down low. Looks to be on Harper Klein of the Lady Cougars. And that hustle, there is no lack of it if you're talking about the Lady Cougars sideline.
Yeah.
Wiggins taking a breather, and Anna Catherine Davis in for her. And
boy, look at these foul calls, man. 8 fouls already on the Cougars. That's tough on them. Only one for the visiting Lady Eagles, so that's good for them. As the first one in 1-on-1 misses, and Miller with the cleanup.
Great job boxing out. Hodge down low was Miller. And yeah, out of the gate coming in this second half, fouls and mental errors have kind of inhibited the Lady Cougars to get back into this lead, as we see an errant pass and fumbled there by Hannah Wright, and costly turnover, giving the Lady Eagles the ball. Here comes the dangerous Banks. 1-on-1 with Foster.
Ooh.
Nice little move, fake pass, and what a scoop shot off the glass, faking it over to the side to Davis. What a beautiful basketball move.
What are we
by
talking
Jalen
about
Banks
over here, Parker? That's just, hey.
We're talking about a freshman. That's what we're talking about.
And she wants to score the ball. And she's getting downhill. Just a beautiful move.
Klein, open from 3. Good look. And off the ball on the rebound, looks like we're going to have a foul on the floor.
Looking back at this replay right here, okay, a little pressure. But I'm a nice little crossover and Euro step. Ja Morant Jelly with the left hand goes down. That's nice right there.
Yeah, John Morant's down there in Memphis. If he's seeing this, he's liking it.
He's tipping
Wonderful
his hat
play
off.
by Banks. Kicks it out. Klein, hungry to get another one of those threes. Keep shooting it, girl. As Prokop coming down the floor gives to Banks. 2 minutes left to go, third quarter. 46-28, Independence leads. Turnover, Hodge brings the ball back down for Centennial. Finds Hannah Wright.
Nice.
And Wright able to gather her feet down below, able to connect on the fast break point. 16-point lead, Lady Eagles.
And you see Coach Glazner over there like, hey, pass it to the corner. That's a tougher pass to make, especially because they're trying to front the post. And now she gets a wide open three in the corner. And those are the ones that the Lady Cougars have to come up with. You're only down 16 in only the third quarter. We got under 2 minutes right now, but hey, try to get 3 consecutive stops, and let's see where we are going into the fourth. You might be only down 10 to 8 points.
And it's that eager style of play that the Lady Cougars are playing with and just knitted together and showing relentless defense not giving up as Hannah Wright and the Lady Cougars coming up with the turnover.
Good help side defense there.
And Hodge able to corral the ball. Foster and Wright getting the offense started for Centennial as we approach 1 minute to go here in the third quarter.
Good
Up and
footwork.
under look by Foster, unable to do so. Kicks to Klein and hits.
I'm not surprised by that one, Parker. I knew that was going in right when she left her fingers, man. Hey, she's been shooting them all night. She's been confident in them. They've been in and out, in and out. That one's going down.
Great job.
13-point game.
Absolutely great job there by Foster, forcing the isolation, penetration to isolate herself and the defense following her and finding the open Klein. With 40 seconds left to go here in this third quarter, Banks looking to Coach Glazner. Might think that she was looking for the last shot. Finds Prokop looking for a chance to get that three back. Relentless offensive rebounding and regroup time for Independence.
Good
Banks
pass.
wastes no time to Miller.
And that's what
Clock
she's
still
been doing.
moving.
She's been doing it all game. Attacking. If they step up, we're dumping it right off to my big Hodge.
10 seconds left. Hodge, desperation three. Trying to show off a little Steph Curry range. Unable to hit. 8.7 seconds. Banks across the timeline. We're at 3 seconds. Another Euro step looking for
Charge.
Miller. They're going to get it with the charge.
Oh, my goodness. And that is on cue, Maya Boyer. Shoot, the sophomore.
Standing strong down low.
Standing strong down low. And, hey, ill-advised shot on the other end by Hodge. You know, just with so much time left, we don't even want to give the Eagles that time to get down the floor. But here with 2.9, Foster, you had a little bit more time.
And after that, with the pinball action shot, good shot there by Foster. And a nice little run that the Lady Cougars are giving us here at the end of the third quarter, Trenton. 48-33 as we approach the fourth quarter here at Centennial High School. Lady Eagles on top of the Lady Cougars. As we remind you, we are broadcasting live, Facebook and YouTube, WCTV Net, as we are closing in on our last quarter of our girls game. Around 7:15, we will have our boys action as the Centennial Cougars and the Independence Eagles in a very important conference matchup as this one is here as well. 6 wins last year for this Lady Eagles basketball team, Trenton, and right now they have 6 wins in the conference. 12-6 overall, so already a vast improvement, and looking to capitalize from off of this game after the week off and the 75-40 loss to Page. Yeah,
and that was mentioned in the pregame interview, with both coaches seated right next to each other, and it was mentioned by the athletic director of Williamson County. He asked Coach Glazner, or he asked Coach Simmons, saying, "Hey, Coach Glazner, they just won 6 games last season. Is this something that you're looking forward to? That you're having a down season, but it goes to show. I mean, proof is in the pudding. You can turn it around, right? Yeah, it's contagious, and you can turn it around just like that. And I'm sure he's looking. Coach Simmons responded. He said, "Yeah, I'm looking forward to it." And he's looking forward to it because these girls are fighting.
They're fighting. They have that grit and that will and the talent, and they're coachable. They're sponges, and that's what we're seeing with the type of play that they being the Lady Cougars are showing on the floor. As big defensive rebound there by Maya Boyer drawing the foul. And quickly out of the break, the Lady Cougars will take back possession. And that will be the 4th foul on the Lady Eagles. 8 for the Lady Cougars as we are in fourth quarter territory here, Centennial High School.
And every possession matters here.
Nice
Parker.
give and go.
Nice.
Foster up and under and 1. Oh, my goodness. Sheraton Foster making sure everyone is awake. Goodness gracious, what a play.
Hey, Coach Simmons told us this is a name to look out for. And you said it early in the game, too, Parker. Look at this. And 1 going down.
Her eyes never left the rim right there.
And those are the type of shots that that she's just been in the gym as she knocks down the and 1 go ahead. We have a 12-point ball game.
Wow. What a play. What a conversion on the free throws as the Lady Cougars showing pressure. Good hustle there by Foster.
And look at the bench. I love it. Everyone's standing up. They're saying, hey, girls, We're almost there. We just need to break open the doors. Banks is subbing right back in. Glazner said, okay, hold on. We're on the road. We don't want them to get too hot, so let's get our girl back in. But, man, I love the intensity that the Cougars are showing right now as they're picking up full court pressure.
And how about that rotation that Coach Simmons is doing on that Lady Cougar sideline as well, getting fresh bodies in. And I don't know, after this run, quick turnover. Lady Cougars give it right back. Miller up to Davis. Davis hard off the glass with the left hand. What an answer by the Lady Eagles, A.K. Davis with the hard finish.
Okay, whatever you can do, I can do as well. And I'm going to answer right back. That's a big play. And going back, man, Cougars, they had the momentum, that costly unforced turnover there. That's when you grab it, you let everyone get back, move the ball around. Let's get another open shot because we have the momentum, but the Eagles doing a good job of pressuring themselves and getting that and one bucket. AK.
And as Miss Davis finishes off that three-point play. And you know what? Regardless, no matter the scoreboard trend, the last 4.5 minutes of basketball time and 40 seconds of this quarter.
The scoreboard
has been great basketball.
Man. The scoreboard does not show what these girls have really been putting on. I mean, you know, Cougars are down by double digits, but it feels like they're right in the game.
Nice up and under attempt there by Maya Boyer. Kayla Miller defending down low for the Lady Eagles as she gets the ball strong.
And another and one here by the Eagles. Big shot there and demoralizing for the Lady Cougars. It's 7 minutes to go. But, hey, if I'm Coach Simmons and if I'm the leaders out there, Sheraton Foster on the floor right now, Taija Hodges on the floor, you're telling your girls, hey, let's keep it going. Let's continue to get better as a team. Let's continue to get better individually. We're still in this ball game. We're still playing.
Kayla Miller finishing off the three-point play. What a game tonight the senior center has had for the Lady Eagles. Offensively and defensively has been a very, very key role and a physical specimen on both sides of the ball for the Lady Eagles. And forcing her, Miller and Banks both forcing key players of that Lady Cougars roster into foul trouble.
Yeah.
As we still see Skinner there on the sidelines, approaching 6 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in this ball game. Ball on the floor. And
travel call.
So instead of a jump ball, we're going to get a travel call called on Banks.
Hey, it's whatever the ref sees, they're going to call it, and can't argue with it.
And a good turn of events for if you are the Lady Cougars.
Yeah, you get a quick attack bucket here. We don't need threes. We just need a good open shut.
Down 18, quick points is what you need. Good look. Nice pump fake. Nice pull up off the elbow. Great defense. Passes the Klein. And a 4-point swing. Unable to finish. What a look. What a play by Foster to Klein. On the other end, Kayla Miller, red hot here in the second half.
Well, this is why you can see Coach Glazner over there upset that he had to take his star center out so early in the game. This is what he's wanted her to do all game, and now she's in here, and Sheraton Foster, a tray ball put up, and it is good, Parker. Foster showing us what she can do.
The rim finally giving in for 24 there. Sheraton Foster getting one from deep. Hit every part of the rim that it could and win in. We have a 14-point game, 5 minutes and 40 seconds left to go. As going down low was Morrow kind of uncontrollably, and the foul is going to be called. I believe that is Klein.
Well, this is why you continue to fight back in ball games. I mean, in my experience as a college basketball player, I've seen games where we've been up 25 going into the second half. We've been up 15 going into the last 10 minutes of the ball game, 20-minute halves in college, and it gets stripped right from us. And I think Coach Simmons is like, hey, there's still 6 minutes left in this ball game. You guys are only down, now 16 points. You never know what could happen. That play a little bit ago, Sheraton Foster could have got a 4-point swing and could have got them right back here close to a 10-point deficit. as the
they
second free throw's missed.
They do a good job making the other team sweat. And that's all. And as a young team, that's all you can look forward to, and especially for the future, being able to coach into not only making other teams sweat, but making other teams lose. And that's exactly what Coach Simmons is molding this team into being.
Yeah.
With leaders like Foster, leaders like Taisha Hodge, those young leaders that are sophomores, as Hannah Wright will be graduating as she comes back into the game. And we'll be losing that vocal leader for Centennial. But as far as the team aspect of it, it is there. And as far as we're looking at the Independence team here, good look here as we approach the playoffs, and they will be a team to look out for. But as you said, in this game here, plenty of time for the Cougars to make this more of a game and to make Jalen Banks and this Lady Eagles team sweat a little bit more.
Tough.
Hard rebound by Miller.
Kayla Miller, she's just reaping the benefits of just being down there boxing out. Cleanup crew. Hodges,
quick
no
release.
hesitation. And now you're starting to see the experience and the age factor come in, as Coach Simmons even mentioned. Just some of the unforced turnovers, some of the quick shots, and right now, I mean, hey.
And they're slowing the game down, too.
Yeah, and that's what the Eagles are definitely going to be doing. We're going to see a slower 4 minutes here as the Eagles are almost fairly sure to win this game. But, hey, I'm not going to be surprised if the Cougars
A.K. Davis wide open.
There goes.
Foster getting the kick off the wing.
Ooh.
Switches to the center of the key and hits. Nice little elbow jumper, Sheraton Foster.
Foster with the in and out move right into a pull-up. We work on that in the gym.
3:45 left to go in this ball game. Jalen Brooks drawing the foul as she enters the lane.
Jalen Banks, she's been going with that right-hand crossover to the left all game, and she's been hitting them with it. She's been driving right in the middle, using her body. She's tall. She's got a great frame, and I believe it's going to be Lady Cougar ball. I believe a charging call.
Did I miss that?
Called,
Is that on offense there?
It looks like they called the charging call, but I'll tell you, that's a call that kind of goes both ways. They won't call that all the time. They probably won't call that in college, which I wouldn't be surprised to see Jalen Banks playing one day. Yes,
it just depends on how in control or not you are as you enter the lane, too.
Yeah.
And judging by these refs' eyes, she was a little more out of control than in control.
Right.
So Sheraton Foster, after the foul call on Banks, 59-43 Independence over Centennial. As we are 3.5 minutes left to go in this game. Hannah Wright, turnaround jumper misses. Bleachers are filling up on both sides in anticipation for our boys matchup here in the District 11 AAA matchup. And probably going to be seeing a little bit of clock management here for the Lady Eagles. Hard screen by Miller. Good looking screen, clean screen by Miller.
Yeah.
And traveling call after that.
And look at Hannah Wright getting right back up, and she's been doing that all game. She's been scrappy.
She's been all over the floor,
oh, man. She's the senior. She's the lone senior. Coach Simmons says, hey, she's not only our role model, she's our vocal leader. And as she's setting the screen for her scorer, Sheraton Foster, she's been great tonight. She's just been the captain that the Cougars have needed. As Banks gets in here and gets a little scrappy.
See if we're going to get a foul or a jump ball call here. And I believe it is going to be a foul call.
And the crowd getting into it a little bit. I think that was a good play by Banks. She went in there. She went for the ball, but hey, that's what happens, man. You know, I like the Cougars. She's not just going to let her. Boyer's not going to let her just take the ball from her. If you want this ball, you're going to have to get it from me.
Banks with the foul call as she takes a breather. Libby Morrill coming into the game. Shooting for the Lady Cougars, Maya Boyer. And, you know, you're talking about the senior leadership and such. Got to look the same thing for Kayla Miller on the independent side, that lone senior on the starting five.
Yeah.
Having a huge game tonight.
She is.
As Boyer coming up short on the front end of that 1-and-1. And 2:45 left to go here in regulation.
Nice.
A.K. Davis hard with the left hand off the glass, unable to hit. And Kayla Miller once again strong on that offensive boards. Getting a little shot to the mouth there, going through it and able to get herself to the line. And 0 quit until there's 4 zeros on the board for Kayla Miller.
And just on cue, man, you talked about Kayla Miller being the lone senior, and Coach Glazner, he's going to be leaning on her heavy going into district play and district tournament game. And she knocks down a silky smooth free throw, 1 for 1 so far. She's been having a great game, and those are Lady Cougars don't have a ton of size out there as Skinner's out. Those are tough. That's Miller's she's gonna eat all those up and get those buckets. As the second one is pretty and it is good.
Yeah, Coach Glazner has done a good job using his personnel. The depth of his personnel to tire down and wear down this Centennial Lady Cougars front, but cannot discount the play and the grit of these Lady Cougars here at home, that they've stayed in this game, even though 61-43 scoreboard. As turnover, Davis bringing the ball up court for the Lady Eagles, approaching 2 minutes left to go in our ball game.
And it is almost a 20-point game, but look at this. The hustle is still there. Senior Hannah Wright, she's still fighting. And we've been saying it, timeout by Ben Simmons, because even him as a coach, hey, it's 2 minutes. We're likely to lose this game, but hey, we still got things to work on, Parker, and we still got a district tournament that we're going to be playing in, whether it's 9, 8, 7 seed. So we're going to continue to get better as a team, and I think every single girl on that bench right now is bought into that. The 4th-seeded Eagles have been playing outstanding tonight. They've been attacking the rim. They've been aggressive. It's paid off for them. I mean, you could see just by the foul calls. I mean, in the double bonus is the Eagles. The Cougars are in the bonus as well. They're just attacking each other. They're going head-to-head.
It's a physical game on both sides.
It's a physical game. Sure. They're competing. They're getting, each player is getting better. I just really love to see it.
And you're mentioning the rankings, with this win and with last week, Ravenwood beating Dixon, the current third place at 7-3. With them, third place is still in the picture for the Lady Eagles with this win. And they will be on track to get, if not a bye, that first game. Get a good rank, a good seed, and good matchup. As even though right now at 0-10, the Centennial Lady Cougars will not be a slouch. Whoever their first round opponent will be, just showing with injuries on the bench and with foul trouble, how they're still playing this game and how they are still making the Lady Eagles work.
This is a team that coaches are a little worried about sometimes. Like, hey, I hope my girls don't overlook them, because they'll come up and sneak up on us. And with age, sometimes girls don't see that. I don't think it'll be a problem with these Eagles here. As a great feed inside from Miller, keep on eating down low.
Good look by Wiggins.
Yeah, that's the pass that Glazner has been wanting from the corner to get down. As Harper Klein wide open 3.
That girl is not afraid to shoot, and she is getting that shot, and I do not expect her to stop shooting that ball. And, I do want to give kudos to that Lady Eagles team, that what you just mentioned, not looking over this Centennial team and coming out and remembering who they are, remembering their identity and where they come from after that hard loss to Page, and just getting themselves back on the right foot here on the road at Centennial. And they will be, looking ahead to 3 home games here in a row after this game. So that is something to look forward to in the latter half of this season, going into postseason.
Parker, that is a key word for every single team in this district. In district tournament time, it's identity. Who are we as a team? Who am I as a player? What is my role on this team? I have to do that at an elite level. Those are the teams that really come alive and really make a run. The Cougars, as Brad Simmons, he says they don't quit. They understand the culture aspect of things. They get along great. As the first free throw is good.
That's going to be dangerous. That's going to be dangerous when these sophomores are seniors, though.
Exactly.
That's what the outside looking in doesn't see.
Yep. So hey,
I'm excited to see what happens with it.
I'm extremely excited for this group, and they're headed in the right direction. But Yeah, I think they know what their identity is on this team. Is Sheraton Foster. She's not going to let it. She's going to keep putting them up as well.
Just good-looking shots.
Yeah.
Just good-looking shots. Good-looking play all around. Clean game. Like you said, a few fouls on both sides, but nonetheless, high-scoring game.
Yeah.
At that, as we are underneath 1 minute left to go here in our fourth quarter of action. 64-43.
Right back to her.
Miller down low. That's got to be 14 points here in the second half at least.
Ooh, my goodness, and I'm sure she's past that 20 mark already. She's just, nice rudimentary, big girl basketball.
Nice
Pulse
pick.
down inside. Ooh.
Nice little drive there by Wright after the pick from Garrison there. And with that is 30 seconds left as the Lady Eagles will bring the ball up the floor.
I think that's going to be it right there, unless Miller wants to get her a little bit more.
As she does, Kayla Miller, little icing on the cake for the Lady Eagles.
Little cherry on top, Parker.
That's right. As we get close to 10 seconds, the Lady Eagles as Foster for the Cougars with the last second two. The Lady Eagles will go to 7-3, 13-6 overall, as 0-11 from 2-16 for the Lady Cougars after tonight's game. So with the buzzer sounding, Trenton Perry 68-45. The Lady Cougars fall to the visiting Lady Eagles.
Yeah.
And Trenton, it was a pleasure. Appreciate you being here, man.
Yeah, man.
I hate that you're not going to be able here to witness this boys game coming out and call it with me, but enjoy your radio show after this, and we hope we see you again.
Absolutely, man.
Again soon.
Hey, I had a great time with you guys, Parker. I appreciate it. A great game tonight, and hey, this gym is about to get electric. I know you're going to have a fine time watching this boys game.
Absolutely, yes, sir. Stay with us. WCTV Game of the Week, Centennial High School against Independence. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Centennial High School. The latter match of our doubleheader action tonight as the Centennial Cougars host the Independence Eagles here in our boys matchup. The lights are on, the student sections are live, repping the purple and gold for the late Kobe Bryant. And here we are as the Eagles and Cougars tip off, as the Eagles win the tip-off. And St. Charles and company and the Independents get it started as Salitri at the point. Tough man-to-man defense here by the Cougars. Independents looking down low to Connor Rudolph. It looks like he's going to get tangled up with Andrew Ellison, the senior forward there for the Cougars. Starting lineup for Centennial: Patrick Garrett, Isaiah Poor, Ben Brown, Carter Speedy, and Andrew Ellison. And as a senior-driven Centennial Cougars team, been missing Bryn Brown for most of the season, especially the past few weeks off of injury. And I know Coach Hickman and company are glad to see him back. And for the Eagles on offense, Salitri, St. Charles, and Matt St. Charles and Trey St. Charles. St. Charles brothers, Connor Rudolph and Cameron Bell for the Eagles. As quickly down the floor, Isaiah Poor off the glass and gets the scoring started tonight for the Cougars. The Cougars 12-9, 5-5 in the conference, currently placed, or sitting in fourth place. As good defense, strong down low on the baseline. Turning the ball over was Trey St. Charles there as he stepped out of bounds. Quickly a minute in, 2-0 Centennial leads this matchup. Fourth place are the Cougars in this division, 5-5. 3-6 in sixth place are the Independence Eagles. This is a pivotal game to see who will climb or fall in these district rankings, as turnover down low in the lane. Quickly down floor are the Eagles, and a slam dunk by Cameron Bell. The sophomore from coast to coast with the jam ties our ball game at 2-2. Poor slowing the game down, pulls up from three, unable to hit. Long rebound in front of the Independence bench. Possession will stick with the gold. Independence coming off a bye this past Tuesday. Coach Doug Kyle and company, they were talking about how they were able to identify the issues that they had so far this season and make some changes. Solid sophomore crew that they have coming off the bench are the Eagles, and young talent, but potential talent for the future that they are growing on. As working the ball around the wing, getting it inside to Matt St. Charles, loses the ball. Quickly poured down low, finds Andrew Ellison, and the quick basket by the Cougars puts them back up by 2, 4-2 here in the first quarter. Independence unable to get anything going here on the offensive end as far as getting anything set up, barring as far as the Cameron Bell dunk. Other than that, there's been no offensive production here in the first few minutes, as Connor Rudolph loses his feet, and possession will be regained by the Eagles. So we see first-year coach Tyler Hickman here at Centennial High School, former Lipscomb alumni player himself, got an older team, senior-driven team, and he is able to get them to buy in and finding themselves with a solid record at 12-9, right in the middle at 5-5, as we said before, here in the district. And this Centennial team, they have definitely been keeping everything close in their conference games. Out of those 5 losses, 4 of them combined 16 points and losses. So a possession here or there, a shot going one way or another, or a foul, what have you, that record could be a lot different. That's something that Coach Hickman and company have discussed, and that's kind of what he's kept his team bought in with. And trying to answer their first win against this Independence Eagles team back in December. Independence High School. Independence had a shot at the buzzer in regulation to win, ended up losing in overtime. Centennial came back 73-62. So could that possibly be a type of game we will see tonight? We will see. I can only imagine that both of these teams, especially Independence, coming in hungry off that bye. So the officiating crew and company getting everything settled away, and we restart our action. Sam Walmack, Jr., into the game for Independence. Connor Rudolph getting a rest. And here is Walmack bringing the ball up the court for the Eagles. Down low, hard off the glass. St. Charles unable to hit, quickly down the floor, Poor. Finding his man on the wing and hits was number 22, Carter Speedy, the senior guard, coming up big. Centennial up to an early 5-point lead. As we have a foul down low, Cameron Bell, big sophomore, backing down. I believe that was Ben Brown. That is going to be on Ben Brown, number 21, his first foul. So we will see how Cameron Bell, the young sophomore, does at the line for the Eagles. As the second team foul. The second team foul on Centennial. Independence has one. Rudolph hitting his first of 2 free throws. And he has all 3 points so far for the Eagles. And make that 4 points as Rudolph cuts the lead to 3. And quickly, Patrick Garrett turns the ball over. And Salitri and company for the Eagles are back down on the offensive side. Approaching 4 minutes left to go here in this first quarter. Salitri, Euro stepping inside, unable to connect, but nice move going on the opposite side of that pick placed by Cameron Bell. And Harishi Salitri will be at the line for the first time this evening. His senior guard trying to cut into this 3-point deficit that he sees his team in right now. Short off the front iron on his first shot. And into the game for the Cougars, Luke Westmoreland. Going to give Big Ben Brown a rest. Salitri hitting the second of 2 free throws, and we have a 2-point ball game. Garrett at the point for the Cougars. Setting things up with Westmoreland playing catch with Poole. Kicks out to Speedy as he resets. Good man-to-man defense here by the Eagles. Trying to get inside are the Cougars, and they do, and hit Big Brown. The junior with his first points of the ball game. 9-5, 4-point lead for the Cougars. Salitri from 3. Off the mark, and gonna have an over-the-back call on Carter Speedy. Salitri into St. Charles, back to Salitri. What a give and go. Nice play off the glass, kissing it gently. 2-point game 3 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Great play, give and go. St. Charles to Salitri. And going in hard in the lane and missing was Westmoreland. And Salitri setting it up for the Eagles. Trey St. Charles to his brother Matt, unable to hit. But his brother able to pick up the rebound. Salitri kicking to Womack. Womack unable to hit. And we're going to have a foul called on the floor. 2:33 left to go here in the first quarter. Got a lot of back and forth action, not a lot of scoring. Defense is playing a factor. 2-point lead for the Cougars. As Connor Rudolph replaces Cameron Bell for the Eagles. And into the game for the Cougars, Grant Sargent, the senior guard. And Patrick Garrett brings up the ball for the Cougars. Speedy, down low, Ben Brown unable to corral the ball. St. Charles and Salitri with the ball coming back down for the Eagles. Down low. Rudolph looking for St. Charles. Errant pass, good defense down low. Luke Westmoreland on St. Charles. And a lot of bodies moving in and out for both teams. Lincoln Aholt for the Cougars into the game, and Tyus Anderson, the sophomore for the Eagles, into the game as well. Both coaches trying to keep legs fresh as possible. Fast pace so far in the game. As great play by Lincoln Aholt, the freshman down low, losing the ball and getting it back. And his teammate Westmoreland helping him corral the ball down low and getting the foul shots. Aholt hitting the first out of the 2 free throws. 3 team fouls for Independence, 4 team fouls for Centennial. Aholt 2 for 2 from the line. 11-7 lead, 1:46 the Cougars have left in this first quarter. Quickly down floor. Womack loses the ball. Quickly comes Garrett down the floor for the Cougars. Finds Fox on the wing, unable to hit, and back and forth we go. Salitri driving hard, takes the bump and off the glass and in. Salitri, 5 quick points here in the first half. And that cuts the lead to 2. Westmoreland gets the double team. And what an effort down in the quarter by Colin Upright, and able to come up with the turnover with the help from Salitri. And a little bit of a momentum shift here. A couple big defensive stops by Independence, slowing down Centennial. And Salitri, big skip pass up front, nice by Trey St. Charles. What a pass, what a find by Salitri. And that ties our ball game up at 11 with 50 seconds left to go, under a minute here in the first half. Patrick Garrett short from the top of the key. And going for the rebound was Lincoln Aholt. And see if they end up calling the foul on here. Looks like that's going to be on Justin Miles of Independence. 4th team foul, 4 aside for both teams. Westmoreland dragged that left foot just a tad, caught for it. Costly turnover by the Cougars. As once again, personnel change by the Cougars. Michael Joyner in the game for Westmoreland. And once again, Colin Upright inbounding the ball, also in the game for Independence. Approaching 30 seconds left to go in the opening quarter. Miles down low, working hard against Aholt, trying to get position. Unable to, finds some space, gets a good feed from Upright. And good foul down low there by Patrick Garrett, forcing Miles to get to the hard way. As Independence looking to get some more size into the game. Cameron Bell set to check in. As Miles hits the front end of the 2 free throws. Trey St. Charles taking a breather. And Miles misses the second. But Eagles take the 1-point lead, 12-11. 10 seconds left to go here in the first. Joyner finding Fox. Fox to Sargent. 2 seconds left, off the glass, unable to hit. Aholt trying for the one-handed putback. And with a great effort to salvage 2 extra points there at the end of the first quarter, the Cougars were unable to. And after leading for the majority of the first quarter, the Independence Eagles were able to take the lead 12-11 after the first, with fast pace on both sides, turnovers being a little bit of a bugaboo, if you will, for both teams. Harishi Salitri running the point for the Eagles tonight, showing off what he can do, passing and shooting, just driving the lane, showing good senior leadership there for the Eagles. And on the Centennial side, even scoring for the starters. And yeah, Isaiah Poore, Aholt, Brown, Ellison, all with 2. And if I'm the coaches on both of these sidelines, I say keep it up. Maybe slow it down a little bit on offense on both sides. A little bit of little jitteriness, happy feet, if you will. Great atmosphere here at Centennial High School gym. And now that the lights are bright and everything, they're getting used to it. I think both teams are going to come out with a little bit more of a disciplined second quarter. And both teams with shorter lineups coming out of the huddle. No Ben Brown. No Cameron Bell, Brady Jenkins, Connor Rudolph. We'll see if the shooting gets put on display here as Poole with the elbow jumper. Quick scoring start for the second quarter for the Cougars, as Sargent getting the assist. Double team down low on St. Charles, and great defense by the Cougars, forcing the traveling call as Tyus Anderson caught up in the corner, gives it to St. Charles, and same was for him. Great defense by the Cougars as Patrick Garrett gets the play call from Coach Hickman. And the motion starts for the Cougar offense. Poore kicking it out to Sargent, keeps it in bounds. And aggressive defense by the Eagles, a little bit too much there by St. Charles. Trey gets a foul there, and that will be his second. So 5 team fouls for the Eagles. Sam Womack back into the game for St. Charles and the Eagles. And Cougars look to regroup and set up. And a moving screen call on the Cougars will give the Eagles the immediate possession right back. And that was on Patrick Garrett. That is his second foul. So timeout on the floor, 6:55 left to go here in the first half. The home team, Centennial Cougars, 13-12 lead over Independence. And with both teams getting to the line and getting to the rack, both defenses have been tested, and, you know, really the discipline has been good. Only 6 fouls for Centennial and 5 fouls for Independence. So with how fast-paced and a little bit out of control some of these possessions have been, defensively staying disciplined is what both coaches are going to look to do, and so far so good, as a little bit of hype comes back out for both teams. Cameron Bell out for the Eagles, Ben Brown for the Cougars, and Harishi Salitri bringing the ball out for the Eagles. Kicks it to Anderson. Anderson with a pretty looking shot, unable to hit. Huge offensive rebound. Cameron Bell grabbing a one-handed offensive rebound down low, keeping the possession for the Eagles. Great work down there by the young man. Grant Sargent taking a breather. Carter Speedy back into the game for the Cougars, as Colin Upright will attempt his first free throw. And misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Here comes Poor looking to run. Stutter steps and takes a hard body foul on Bell as he goes up strong and up quickly, awaiting his free throw shots. Isaiah Poor is one of those senior leaders that we talked about in the broadcast previously. Looking to see Dusty Williams. Have not seen him on the floor yet for the Cougars. That duo is dangerous when on the floor together. But as of now, Poor is going to have to do it with the rest of his comrades as he hits 1 of 2 from the line. Cougars trying to get a little bit of breathing room from Independence. 14-12 is the score. As Salitri driving in the lane and drawing the foul, and that will take Independence 2 1-and-1 shots. 7 fouls for Centennial, and have hit the bonus. Coach Hickman not pleased down on the Centennial sidelines. It's a quick foul. Nothing really earning that. Salitri with just a drive down the lane and an errant foul, and points that Centennial does not want to give Independence, especially for free, as Salitri 2 for 2 from the line. And that gives him 7 points for the night. The Cougars trying to answer. Poor, one-on-one with Anderson, loses the ball, gets it back. What a hustle defense play by Salitri. Poor loses the ball, tries to get it back. Salitri knows it's off of him with the awareness to turn around and take it off of Poor. What a hustle play. Harishi Salitri with a first half for the books for the Eagles. 14-14, we are knotted up. 6 minutes left to go in the first half. The ball's turned over. Here come the Cougars. Speedy slows it down, gets it to Poor. Down low, Jones. Jumper falls off the mark. Cameron Bell in the face of Ben Jones. Back and forth, misses on both sides. Both teams desperately looking for a clean basket. As great defense down low by Speedy. Upright, unable to finish. And here come the Cougars. Shot from 3 and hits. Michael Joyner. Finally, 3-ball hits for the Cougars. Both teams a little dry from the three-point line as Salitri answers. Looking for the foul as he draws contact, unable to get the call, but able to make the basket. 17-16, Centennial leads. Poor down low to Ben Jones. Good look, unable to connect. And here comes the red-hot Salitri. Drives to the left, looks down low. Trying to find upright. Not a bad decision there, dishing it off. Nonetheless, that will be a turnover again for the Eagles. As Sam Womack checks back into the game, as well as Connor Rudolph for Independence. Isaiah Poore brings the ball down floor. Takes it himself off the glass. Isaiah Poore with his 7th point of tonight. Salitri looks down low, trying to find his man Connor Rudolph. Off the hands of Ben Jones. Independence will keep possession. As we see here, splitting the defense was Mr. Poore. And keeping his eye on the prize, and that was that rim as the ball falls through it. And another defensive effort there by the Cougars, Carter Speedy. Welcome to the game as he is showing great hustle plays on both sides of the ball as he has come off the bench here halfway through this first half. 19-16, Centennial leads. And we're going to get a traveling call there called on Independence. Sam Womack losing his footing. My mother's an English teacher. Don't tell her I said that. As checking in for the Eagles, Whit Conrad. Healthy dose of substitutions for the Eagles. Sophomores are getting their turn. As the Cougars and Isaiah Poore setting up a play to extend this 3-point lead. Not a lot of movement, maybe looking for isolation. And he kicks it to Speedy, and Speedy's going to get fouled. And that is going to be number 8 on Independence. Both teams at 8 fouls. Both teams will be shooting free throws for the duration of this half. Chase Thomas, the junior, 6'3", 40-pound center into the game for Cougars. As Carter Speedy hits the front end of his 1-and-1. And that will extend the lead to 4, hoping for 5 points here. As Speedy hits his 4th point of the night, 2nd free throw, 21-16, Cougars lead. Lincoln Ahold into the game for Ben Brown. Five-point lead, Cougars over the Eagles. Salitri brings the ball down court to Fox. Salitri off the pick by Miles. Going back down there, down low to Rudolph was Salitri, and Rudolph drawing the foul, and he will go to the line. As that is the 9th team foul for Centennial, so 1-and-1 once again. And that is Chase Thomas's first foul. Rudolph hitting his first of 1-and-1. And with the second, that cuts the Centennial lead down to 3, 21-18, approaching 3 minutes left to go here in the first half. Poore double teamed at the top. Down low. Centennial looking to get something going down low with with Ahold, unable to. Independence turns the ball over down low after a turnover of their own. And I think both teams here in the next 3 minutes and 8 seconds will be discussing the turnover bug that seems to have bit both teams so far this half. Can't take anything away of how hard both teams are playing. Just a little bit of carelessness on both sides. As Aholt all around the rim, off the backboard and in, the first of two from the line. Cameron Bell back into the game for Independence. And Aholt 2 for 2 from the line. That is going to be very big from both teams. If they are at the line, able to get free points from the line, they're going to have to connect to solidify their place in this game on the scoreboard. So Salitri driving and kicking. Playing a little bit of game of catch with Bell. Salitri going for the corner, drawing a foul once again. And he will go right back to the line. With 9 points, Salitri has definitely made his presence felt and presence known from that foul line as well. Foul is going to be on Lincoln Aholt. That is his first. Salitri missing the front end of the 1-and-1. Or excuse me, not 1-and-1. We are in the double bonus now. 10 team fouls by Centennial. And Salitri getting his 10th point of tonight. Cutting the lead to 4, 23-19. Centennial looking to answer, unable to connect was Joyner as the offensive rebound reconnected and gathered by Centennial. And they will restart. Poor looking to get some contact and a foul call, unable to. Here comes Anderson. A little bit of careless with the basketball, and one travel to another, and one is called there on 31. That is Connor Rudolph. And once again, just careless ball handling on both teams. Getting a little bit out from under there. Their feet are out from under them, getting a little bit too fast, and that is showing on the turnover margin. And once again, that's something both teams, I am sure, will hit on and touch on in the next 2 minutes in the locker room. Smiley drives on his own left hand, beats his man upright to the basket. And big points there by Smiley. That's 7 for him. And I apologize, Carter. That is Carter Speedy, not Smiley. I apologize. Don't know where I got that from. Salitri from 3, unable to connect. And potential run starter here for the Cougars. Hard drive and foul. Isaiah Poore looking to get that run started. And Anderson picking up the foul on Poore. That is his first, team 9th. And the senior Poore with his first of 2. Unable to hit. Ryan Lampley, the senior, number 10, into the game for the Cougars for the first time. And as Isaiah Poore finishes off the second of 2 free throws, that gives him 8 points tonight. And that gives the Cougars a 7-point lead. And we are just outside of 1 minute left to go here in the first half. Inside, Anderson to Bell. Bell loses it out of bounds, and possession will stay with the Eagles. Salitri finds Anderson and was looking for his man in the corner. A little bit of miscommunication. And another turnover on the Centennial, or excuse me, the Independence offensive side. As we have hit 1 minute left to go here in the first half. Isaiah Poore and the Cougars with a 7-point lead. Slowing the ball down. See if they can get a last second shot here. No shot clock in high school basketball. as we have a staring contest between Anderson and Poole. Poole was ready to pass it off. I think he blinked first. Here we go. Poole ready for the play. And Coach Hickman's going to call a timeout on the Centennial sidelines. And that will leave us 13.8 seconds left to go. The Cougars looking to extend this first half lead. This Cougars team is also a team, kind of a rough stretch. The last 10 games, 3-7. And this past Tuesday, tough loss to Summit, 57-53. And that goes back into what I mentioned earlier. 4 out of their 5 conference losses, all combined with 16 points. So that 4-point loss there, Summit this week, is another one of those that kind of rub a little bit sour if you're Centennial. But tonight, so far it's about which team's going to make the least amount of turnovers. And right now, I think Centennial is capitalizing on those turnovers so far, and that's what puts them up by 7 here late in the first half. A young Independence team on the other side, I do not see them going anywhere, so Centennial's going to have to keep their head on straight and keep their game plan in mind and keep doing what they're doing, and Independence is going to have to start putting a little bit more pressure on Centennial. And my unprofessional opinion, I think that might be something each team will talk about here in the locker room, as we have 10 seconds left until that happens. Across court, from the corner, unable to hit. I could not see who that was. I believe that was Andrew Ellison from the corner, and I believe he was fouled on the shot. And if that's the case from my angle, I believe it was a 3-pointer. That foul's going to be on Justin Miles. That's his 3rd. Team 10th, and that is going to be a 3-point potential swing here as Andrew Ellison picks up his 2nd point, first of the 3 free throws. And after that second made free throw, little group personnel change for the Cougars. 2.5 seconds left to go here in the first half. Ellison looking to close out this 3-point play from the free throw line, and does. And that extends this Cougar lead to 11. I apologize, I looked too late to the scoreboard. I was waiting for it to change. It is 10 points. Last second by St. Charles, unable to hit, and a little run put on by Centennial Cougars, our host this evening. They look at themselves up 10, 29-19 over Independence after a busy first half. Can't wait to see what we have in store for us in the second. 29-19, we'll see you after the half back at Centennial High School. And we are back for second half action here at Centennial High School. The host Cougars leading the Eagles 29-19, 10-point lead here as Salitri and the Eagles get the first possession to start this second half. We saw the Cougars go on a little bit of a run there towards the end of the second quarter, forcing a lot of turnovers by the Eagles. And now the Eagles are going to look back to the drawing board to try to get some more points on this scoreboard to alleviate some turnovers. As Salitri giving up to St. Charles in the corner, unable to hit. And here comes Poor and the Cougars. Kicks out to Speedy. Good look by Speedy. Both teams starting 0 for 1 here out of the locker room. Look to see if Centennial continues to block off that interior from the Eagles, or if Salitri and company can try to get it down low. Maybe a little bit of high-low look right there as Matt St. Charles, nice feed from Salitri in off the glass. And we have our first points of the second half. And like I was saying, if you're the Eagles, you're going to want to look to try to get inside to Connor Rudolph and Cameron Bell. And there, the first half at the beginning, they were able to do that. The defense of Centennial has closed off the center and forbidden those types of points from being scored. So we'll see what the young sophomore can do as he gets the ball driving strong and in off the glass. Cameron Bell getting his 6 points of the game. Speedy to answer. And 0 for 2 from that corner. Speedy might want to try another one as Salitri and the Eagles has cut that 10-point lead to 6. But here comes Andrew Ellison with the steal. Pokes it to Poor, and Poor finishes. Great defense there by Ellison, and pick up by Poor, getting his guy, getting his back, and getting the first points on the board for the Cougars here in the second half. And that puts us at 31-23. Down low. Rudolph up and no good. Good defense and good rebound there by Ben Brown. Garrett finds Ellison around the horn. There's Speedy in the other corner, decides to take it to the rack. And after the first 2-3 points he missed, he goes for a little bit of a higher percentage shot. And that, folks, will go in more times than not. 33-23, we're back to 10 points. Centennial leads Independence. Salitri, nice spin move. Might have taken a little bit too many steps, I would have said, but it looks like it's going to be called on Isaiah Poor there for the block. Might even be a little bit of a check foul there. And Mr. Official has let our scorer's table know. So that will be on Poor. That is his second foul, team first here in the second half. Poor leading the Cougars with 10 points. And we have no shot, foul on the floor. And that's going to be 2 quick fouls there on Centennial. And that is what Independence did in the first half. We saw getting Centennial in quick and early foul trouble. Independence was in the bonus at 7 fouls, or 7 fouls given up by Centennial in the first quarter. So off to 2 early fouls. Salitri, nice bounce pass to St. Charles. Just coming up short. Here comes Poor, quickly down the floor. Challenges Salitri, and good effort there off the miss. And Coach Hickman there on the sidelines of Centennial liked it. Loves the effort there by the senior. All gas, no brakes he has shown tonight, especially with the absence of fellow senior Dusty Williams. Poor kind of having to do a little bit more than he is used to doing as he misses his front end of his free throws. Oh for 2, misses both, but Andrew Ellison there to pick him up. Nice offensive rebound and finish by Andrew Ellison, 35-23 Cougars. Just when you think Independence is going to start scratching their way in back into this lead. Centennial keeps throwing the door back in their face as we see Coach Kyle there on the Independent sidelines. Seen enough out of the locker room and calls his timeout, and that will leave him with 3. And Centennial with 4 timeouts, 35-23. Centennial over Independence here at Centennial High School. Our WCTV Game of the Week, January 31st, last day of the first month of the new decade. And we're glad that you're joining us. WCTV Net, that is where you can find this live broadcast, Facebook or YouTube. Shown globally, as we learned last week. It's got some friends down in Puerto Rico watching some action here in Williamson County. So we appreciate all that are listening. Again, WCTV Net, Facebook and YouTube. And Lance and Christian and Michael and the guys always do a great job with the production. And we are glad to have you with us. So after the Independence timeout, a little regroup. Salitri looking to get the ball here at the front court to continue play here in the third quarter. 4:28 left to go. And a zone defense look by the Cougars. An intercepted pass by Ben Brown and almost gives it up. But Patrick Garrett able to corral the ball and reset things for the Cougars. Ben Brown out top to Ellison. And here come the Eagles. Catch pass. Anderson to St. Charles. Back to Anderson. Unable to hit. And oh, goodness gracious. Isaiah Poore going after the loose ball. And we will see who gets possession. Hope everyone is okay down there. Good hustle play there by both teams. And we will see who regains possession. And what started this half at a 10-point lead that the Cougars had is now up to 12. Little back and forth action. Turnovers did not start the half, but kind of coming into play here in the recent events of this half. 3:53 left to go. Timeout on the floor. We're looking at the stats tonight. The leading scorers for both teams. For the host Cougars, Poore in there with 10 points. Carter Speedy with 9. And Andrew Ellison with 7. Then looking over with the Independent side, we know for sure Harishi Salitri having a great game. 10 points. A lot of hustle on both sides of the ball. And then following him in the scoring column, the sophomore Cameron Bell. If you remember, started this game off with a nice little sweet dunk, one-handed to start us off in the game, and he's had a big physical presence down low. And with him and Connor Rudolph and Justin Miles, that is what Coach Kyle and this Independence team is going to want to look to try to impact more in this game here in the latter half of the second half. If they're going to want to get into this lead. Centennial, they're getting on a run and they stayed on it. And you can see that they are definitely senior driven with the leadership on the floor, and the teamwork that they possess is definitely apparent on the floor. So with both of these teams in the middle of these standings, the 11 AAA standings at 4 and 6, as we get everything regrouped and together down on the floor. Centennial in 4th place, Independence in 6th. The winner or loser of this game, barring a Franklin win or loss tonight, could jump them up 1 to 2 spots or down. So the importance of this game, I'm pretty sure both teams are very aware of. As after the break, here we are, Salitre inbounds to St. Charles, and we're back underway. And the St. Charles brothers, first time tonight, Matt to Trey, connecting. Poor other way, quickly. Finds Speedy. Back across court to Garrett. Garrett answers with the big three. So out of the timeout, quick scores from each side. And Salitre sets it back up for the Eagles. Taking it in himself. Unable to hit, fight for the ball. Cougars have it. Garrett up to Poor, 2-on-1. Poor decided to take it himself and gonna be called for the travel. He had down low Andrew Ellison on the 2-on-1 play, instead turning the ball over, and the Eagles 13 points down, a chance to get it back into this game, back into this lead. Centennial has gone back into their man-to-man defense, and it is taken away. Up and in, and the finish, Ben Brown, coast to coast after the steal. Centennial's on a run. Salitre, St. Charles, high arcing three, unable to hit. And Ellison to Garrett to Poor. Goodness gracious, alley-oop attempt from half court. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will get you out of your seat just by the potential of that connection. And we see young Poor out there kind of, I don't know, bummed. I would just say bummed you didn't get that, because that still looked good, buddy. Both teams showing that they're still playing this game and still in it. Independence has to get points. Centennial is on that run, and third defensive stand in a row as Anderson gets called for the foul on, I believe that was Westmoreland. And 3 offensive turnovers in a row. Independence giving the ball back to Centennial. And Centennial, after that turnover, looking to extend this 15-point lead. Approaching 2 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. Isaiah Poor up top. Westmoreland in the corner, kicks back up to Poor. Looking down low to Ellison. Ellison drawing the foul down low on Cameron Bell. I believe that was Cameron Bell, and that would be his second if it is. So Cameron Bell picking up his second foul. He will be traded in by Justin Miles. Subbed in by Justin Miles. Here's Speedy. Up top, finds Westmoreland. Westmoreland kind of dragged, trying to keep that pivot foot there, drug it a little bit, right in front of the referee. And I might have spoken a little bit too soon earlier, but those turnovers are right back on the floor. Both teams ridiculed by both. So Womack and Anderson and company getting the flow started, trying to get back in this game, back into this lead that the Cougars have. St. Charles to Womack. Womack for 3. And misses, and empty the last 5 possessions down the floor for the Eagles. Poor gets it from Ellison. Westmoreland playing catch, and Poole will reset. As we approach a minute left to go here in the third quarter, Sargent and Poole playing catch. Face guarding is Womack and Anderson. Ellison against Miles. Stops short, trying to feed in a hard pass, and Womack able to intercept. Eagles looking to answer. Anderson does just that from three. Tyus Anderson from the corner. And that brings our lead to 12, 40-28. 30 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Isaiah Poole showing the ball handling skills. Sargent, cross court, excuse me, inside to Ellison, unable to finish. And that was Luke Westmoreland finding Ellison. And great ball movement by the Cougars. Slick ball handling by Isaiah Poore as well. And Ellison misses his first from the line. It puts Independence at 4 team fouls, Centennial at 3. Smiley will take a breather for Centennial into the game, Ben Brown. Ellison hitting the second of 2 free throws. That gives him 8 for the night. Michael Joyner and Chase Thomas into the game for the Cougars. And they lead 41-28, 20 seconds left to go in the third quarter. And Womack brings up the ball. Salitri quiet here in the third quarter, trying to get something going. He gets it, drives the wing, baseline, loses the ball. Sargent coming down the floor at the buzzer, off the back iron. And with that, fast pace still tonight in the third quarter. And at the end, 41-28 is our score. The host, Centennial Cougars, lead Independence. And Centennial just has not come off that run. Really, Independence has not been able to take Centennial off the run that they started there late in the first half, the last 4 minutes of the second quarter, have you. And Centennial is just pressure, kind of showing us a little bit of zone defense, man defense, and that last 3 possessions in a row, forcing errant passes by Independence inside, trying to find their big guys down low, Cameron Bell, Connor Rudolph. They're not able to do it. Just the interior defense is too much, and I think that's just the leadership, the age, the seniors for the home team. But the talent and the way the Independence has played all year, Coach Kyle has something special brewing on that team and that roster. And 13 points is nothing. 8 minutes left to go in this ball game. Basketball is all about runs, as my friend Trenton and I spoke about earlier in the girls' game. And the Lady Cougars showed us how easy it is to go on one of those. So we'll see. As coming out of the huddle, Poore is double teamed by Womack and Anderson, able to use his speed to set it up, and just showing off again his ball handling skills. Joyner pump fakes, poked loose by Anderson off of Westmoreland, and good defensive possession there by the Eagles, forcing a turnover of their own, and that they're going to need to see more of that and answer those turnovers with buckets if they want to get back into this lead. Eagles working the ball around, trying to look inside. St. Charles misses his pass. Salitri short. Looks like there's going to be a foul on the floor. Good hustle there by Salitri, going after his own rebound. And that's going to be on number 25, Chase Thomas. That's his second, team fourth. Both teams at 4 fouls here in the fourth quarter. A big difference, a lot more discipline both teams here in the second half versus the first. That is for sure. Anderson kicks to Womack, back to Anderson. And a little back and forth hot potato action, getting it down low to to Rudolph, and Rudolph unable to hit. Not a bad offensive possession by the Eagles. Moved the ball around really well. Just better defensive possession by the Cougars. Ellison pick for Garrett. Garrett hesitates, and it is swatted away by St. Charles. Great defense there by Matt. And following that block, Michael Joyner is going to get called for a foul. That is his first, team 5th. And after that foul call, we'll have a 30-second timeout. 6:45 left to go in our ball game. 13-point lead. Centennial over Independence. And after a solid defensive possession and stand by the Eagles, unable to come up with their ensuing offensive possession, looking to capitalize and move forward from that out of this huddle. .640 left to go in this ball game. Salitri and the Eagles bringing the ball up court. And looking for Womack, errant pass, and another turnover. Gives the ball right back to the Cougars. So full court man-to-man defense, Salitri on Garrett. And good defense there by Salitri, forcing the turnover, double dribble by Garrett. And turnover by both teams. And our score stays at 41-28. Independence needs to start looking inside, needs to start being more efficient with the basketball if they want to get back into this game and claw back into this lead. And passes like that right there is not going to get it done. Good defense by the Cougars. Poor lazy pass to Speedy, almost lost it. Ellison from Speedy. Andrew Ellison, nice drive and finish in the lane. The senior. And is 9 for Mr. Ellison. And the Cougars up to a 43-28 lead. Rudolph trapped in the corner. Gets it out to Womack, across court to Anderson. St. Charles gathers it up, and Salitri looking to regroup. Hop step in the lane. Offensive foul on Salitri. Poor down low. Set his feet, took the charge. And what looked like a pretty play by Salitri is going to be deemed out of control move by the referees. And that is going to give the Cougars the ball once again. Another turnover by Centennial. The scoring is starting to spread it out around a little bit for the Cougars. Poor with 10. Carter Speedy with 9. Andrew Ellison with 9. We have Patrick Garrett in there with 3. And Ben Brown in there with 4. Ben Brown, though, offensive and defensive boards, has made himself known. If you go over there and look at Independence side, only 9 points this quarter. Haven't really done much to help themselves on the scoreboard. Really have been helping, if anybody, have been helping Centennial out with the turnovers. And both coaches at the game, at the beginning of the game, or yesterday, were talking about, you know, got to play better defensively, got to guard the shooters. You know, that's good and well, but you can't score if you don't have the ball, and turnovers is exactly is what gives the ball up, and that's what both teams are going to be working on, I think, this week in practice. Nonetheless, a greedy performance on both sides, and with 5 minutes and 19 seconds left, still not out of the ordinary to see Independence go on some type of run here as they're trying to get a turnover, but the Cougars get past that press with ease. Garrett to pour all the way into the rack and in. Man, he's got some hops. Eagles looking to answer. Cougars go back into their 2-3 zone defense. And the first couple times that they did that, Independence turning the ball over as they almost did there. Nice pass inside to Womack. A great finish, awesome pump fake, got Poor off his feet, finishes it tough, getting Ellison on the foul. And a potential three-point play here for the Eagles and Sam Womack. Great play by the junior. That's going to be Ellison's third foul, team sixth. And Womack finishes off his first 3 points of the game. And that brings the lead down to 14, 45-31, 4.5 minutes left to play. Centennial beats the press, and Poor keeps the ball in play. Definitely see a sense of urgency on the defensive side of the ball for Independence. As right there, Salitri going to be called with the foul. Not a bad foul there. Good defense there by the senior. And that will only be his third. 16 fouls on both sides. One more foul will send each team to 1-and-1s. Garrett gets the ball inbounds and will set it up with Poor. Isaiah Poor, man, this kid can handle the basketball. And gets the foul, draws the foul on Anderson, and that will send Isaiah Poor to the line. And the Cougars will see foul shots the rest of the evening. And that foul is going to be on Tyus Anderson. That is his third of the night. Anderson with 3 points as well for the Eagles. Isaiah Poor looking for his 13th point and misses. And that's huge. Got to capitalize on that missed free throw if you're Independence. Womack to St. Charles. They look to do just that. Salitri doing it himself from the corner, unable to hit. Big offensive rebound by Anderson. Going for the no-look pass. No-looked it right into Ellison's hands, and here comes Isaiah Poor. Isaiah Poor able to draw a foul as he has nothing on his mind other than getting to the rim. Tyus Anderson, once again, that is his fourth. Brings the team foul total to 8 for Independence. And Isaiah Poor making his first of 2 free throws. I think he and Coach Hickman on the sidelines joking around. I think he might have should have had that last free throw. Poor with the second and connects. That is 14 for Isaiah Poor. Zone defense again for Centennial. 47-31 lead, 3.5 minutes left to go in the ballgame. Womack to Salitri, trying for the third time from the same spot, unable to hit. And here comes the Cougars. Poor looking maybe for a rim rocker, decides to go for the higher percentage shot. Isaiah Poor putting on a show, going in to autopilot. 49-31, this lead is getting large. Salitri trying the best he can to get his team back in it. Looks like he drew the foul. Don't know if they called that a shooting foul or not, but nonetheless, that is going to be 1-and-1 shot. Look at this coast-to-coast action by Isaiah Poor. almost losing it. And, man, I think everybody in here and myself just knew he was going to be grabbing some iron on that one. But instead, taking the smarter shot. And that's my opinion. Smarter shot in my opinion. Who am I? I'm not out there. But great play nonetheless by Isaiah Poor. 16-point game tonight by the young man. And Salitri able to hit his first of 2 free throws. And number 2. So Salitri with 12 points tonight. Leads the scoring for Independence. Good defense there by Independence. I thought that was a good looking play there by Justin Miles. And that's actually, I apologize, that's actually going to be called on Harishi Salitri. Nonetheless, good effort defensively by the Eagles. Going to need something special on that side of the ball if they're going to try to get back into this. 3 minutes left to go. Big foul shots here by Centennial. And the first of 2, or the first of 1-1, have you, Ben Brown. And that gives him 5 points tonight. Looking for 6 here. And hits. $18-point game. Independence looking to get some points on the board as big shot there by Matt St. Charles. Quickly calling a timeout as Independence. $15-point game, 51-36. Centennial looking to get back on the winning ways. Get that 3-7 over the last 10 games back on the right foot. And if you're Independence, that is likely going down to 3-7. Might go down to 7th place in the conference depending on how Franklin and Page do tonight. But even if the season ended tonight, after this game, Independence is still going to be looking at a 6-7 matchup against Franklin. Depending on how they turn out. Then again, Franklin could get hot, and we could have a battle of Franklin at a 4-5 matchup in the playoffs as well. And that is exactly what Coach Hickman and company, Centennial, are playing for right now, is that home court advantage, that round 1 playoff game at home. And they are on their way of punching their ticket to that game, as we are just under 3 minutes left to go here at Centennial High School. 51-36, Centennial leads. And Independence showing the full court press once again and forcing the turnover. Andrew Ellison passing to nobody, and good defensive stand there by the Eagles. St. Charles inbounds to to Salitri, looking for quick points here. And we have a whistle on the floor. So let's try it again. St. Charles into Salitri. Looking for quick points once again. And foul call on the shot by St. Charles. And that is on Carter Speedy. His second foul, as St. Charles misses the front end of the 1-and-1. One of 2 by St. Charles, 51-37. Centennial blowing through that press, and Poor and Garrett will set the ball up for the Cougars. And quick foul there by Colin Upright, closing out on Speedy. And with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to go here in the fourth, Coach Kyle and company trying to get that clock as milked as possible. And Speedy into the double-digit column with 10 points after that first free throw. So Speedy with both free throws. And on the other end, Salitri with the jumper from the elbow, fouled on the play. And that was by Carter Speedy once again. That's two, on Speedy. And Salitri cashing in on that three-point play. That's 15 for Salitri. Poor cornered in the corner and keeps the possession as he throws it off the defender. 13-point ball game, 2:11 left to go in the fourth. Long pass by Ellison. St. Charles playing safety out there like Richard Sherman on the Hawk, and see what they call here. 3 fouls in a row on Carter Speedy. So he started the last 65 seconds of this game with 1 foul. Now he is at 4. Very quickly, and Independence looking to cash in at the line, and that right there is what Coach Kyle had talked about previously, is the production from the free throw line. I think looking back on tonight's game, they had some opportunities to claw back into this lead multiple times from the foul line, and have been unable to do it. But you have those games. So Centennial forced to call a timeout as from the baseline, unable to get the ball in. So once again, we thank you for joining us in this week's WCTV Game of the Week. We hope to see you next week. These Centennial Cougars will be traveling to Franklin. Excuse me, let me check that right. That doesn't sound right. I think that is right. Yes. Okay. Had to go to the judges there for that one. Yes. These Cougars will be traveling to Franklin, Battle of Franklin next week. And that should be an interesting matchup there on the boys and girls side. But until then, 2 minutes and 10 seconds left to go here at Centennial, as the Cougars are looking to run away from the Eagles, as Isaiah Poore continues with his high motor. And it continues to go to the line, leading his team to 16 points. So on that ensuing drive there by Poore, Matt St. Charles is going to get called with the intentional foul. So that's going to give Isaiah Poore a chance to shoot 2 freebies at the line before his original free throws from the shot. Two for two by Poole after the intentional foul by St. Charles. And Poore has 18 points tonight for the Cougars, and they will keep possession. And Independence going for another quick foul, and that is St. Charles once again. That'll be his 4th. And both teams with 2 free throws the rest of the game. Poor looking to extend this 14-point lead with 2 minutes left to go. And possibly to get to 20 points. And he did. 20 points for Isaiah Poor. Huge night by the senior. Definitely driven his team tonight on the offensive side of the ball. As Upright misses, and Poor with the big rebound and is fouled on the breakout. Looks like both teams will be sending in 5 fresh legs each. As Poor hits the front end of the 2 free throws. So both teams looking to switch it up a little bit to get everybody some playing time. Carson Womack, Owen Rise, Brady Jenkins out there for the Eagles. Centennial brings out Cody Maddox, Matthew Joyner, Ryan Lampley, big number 50 Carson Cokes, and John Fox are the new personnel out for the Cougars. Anderson kicks it to Rise. Offensive rebound down low by DeWeese. Anderson, no good. Rebound by Matthew Joyner. And Ryan Lampley will bring up the ball as we approach 1 minute left to go in this game. Minute 10 to be exact. Fox setting it up to Maddox. Lampley watching the clock as we hit 1 minute left to go in regulation. 59-41 Centennial, comfortable lead. And we'll go to 6-5 in conference, 13-9. I am sorry, it's been a long game tonight. 13-9 overall. And Independence will drop to 3-7, 9-12 overall. And the crowd here at Centennial likes it. The Centennial bench likes it. And I know Coach Hickman and that sidelines there at Centennial likes it. Been a rough 10-game stretch and have come back and made a statement on their home floor against the Eagles. A lot of potential from this Independence team. A lot of young talent, strong coaching staff, strong-minded kids, and they'll definitely be back next week and especially next year for sure. And the buzzer sounds, double zeros are on the scoreboard, and that is our final. Centennial over Independence, 59-41. Once again, thank you so much for joining our broadcast, WCTV Game of the Week. For myself, Parker Hazard, Trenton Perry, we thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you next week at Franklin High School as the Rebels host the Cougars of Centennial. Till then, we'll see you. Have a great weekend. Cheers.